What's up, friends? Adam Corson here, and behind me I have the Fire Cold Plunge 3.0. This is the latest, greatest model from Fire Cold Plunge, and compared to their previous models, there's some really cool upgrades and features that they made that I'm really excited to talk about today. This model came out about a month and a half ago, and we've had a few really good weeks to really put this through the ringer with pretty much daily use, and we're going to share all of our findings here today. Men's Journal rated this as the best design cold plunge, which is a pretty bold statement, so stick around to the end of the video and I'll give my thoughts on that statement. One other added bonus, this is the skin that we typically see from Fire Cold Plunge here, but they do have another skin that was just released, and we're going to feature that in this video here today as well. Now we have a lot to talk about, so let's dive right in. So the plunge showed up nicely packaged and came in on a pallet, which was delivered right at the footstep of my garage. This is a medium size here, so it's 50 inches long, right by about 29 inches wide. And it's only about 120 pounds empty, so it was pretty easy to move. All I did was grab a buddy and we just carried it right back. Now they do also make a larger size, but on the company's website, it says that the medium will fit people right up to 6 feet. I'm about 5'9", so I didn't feel any need to go into the larger one. Plus when I plunge, I'm pretty curled up. I'm trying to maintain and conserve as much body heat as I have, so I really didn't see any need to get the bigger one, but it is an option for those taller people. If you do plan on purchasing one, you can follow the link below in the description and you'll get an exclusive discount code. The setup for this plunge was really easy. It really is plug and play. It comes with the user manual here, which has pictures and details of how to set it up. But for me, I'm a visual person, so I really appreciated the fact that there's a QR code that you can scan. And when you scan this code right here, it brings you directly to the company's website, and there's a 5-step video from the second you get this unboxed until getting it up and running and having it starting to cool down. It's very thorough, it's very concise, and it was really easy to use. A shortened version of those 5 steps is going to be step number 1, running your hose for 30 seconds or so. What that's going to do is just get any debris, any stagnant water out of the hose. Step 2 is going to be filling it up with water. So I have my hose in here. We're filling up now. I'm only going to fill it up about 3/4 of the way, so when I get in and my body weight displaces that water, it does not come over the edges. The biggest thing I want to note though is this is a submergible pump right here, so I want to make sure the water line is 3 to 6 inches above that. Once I'm filled up 3 to 6 inches above that, that'll be right at about that 3/4 full mark, and I'll be good to go. Step 3 is just making sure your plunge is plugged in. Step number 4 is just going to be turning the plunge on. Step number 5 is going to be setting my time and temperature. So I'll pop this box open here. It's a bunch of fancy stuff that we really don't have to worry about. This is the most important thing here. It's 6 p.m. here, so this is spot on. What this is going to do is this is going to automize the ozone sanitation, so you really want to make sure that time is correct. And then over here is where I'll set my temperature. I have it set to 47 degrees now. It does have a 3-degree range, so it can go 3 degrees higher or 3 degrees lower. If I want to change that, I'll hold this button here. I'll press it down to whatever temperature I want. Again, notice the 3 degrees higher, 3 degrees lower, and then this is what my current temperature is. Let's talk features. So these guys offer a leak-free guarantee. It can confidently be used indoors or outdoors, really wherever you want to use it. And the way that they're able to offer that guarantee is because the water never actually leaves the tub. So a lot of cold plunges on today's market, there's an external chiller where the water will exit the tub, it'll go through the chiller, and then it will come back into the tub cold. There are a lot of issues with that though, because there's plumbing, there's winterization, you run the risk of that plumbing leaking, you run the risk of that plumbing freezing if you are leaving your cold plunge outside, and the lifespan on a compressor-based system is a lot longer than the lifespan on an external chiller. Those chillers run off horsepower, so they use a lot more electricity. This is a real tried and true system, and while the front of this may get a little bit warm during that first cool down, when you switch your water, it's really not that big of a deal, especially for when you look at the lifespan difference between an external chiller lasting maybe 1 to 3 years versus something tried and true like a compressor that can really last up to like 15 plus years. Indoor use, outdoor use. I mean, this is really top-notch technology here. When it comes to keeping the water clean, there's an 8-layer cotton and carbon filtration system. There's ozone sanitation, which is all automated based off of that timer that we set earlier, and it circulates roughly 300 gallons of water per hour. So this thing's always cleaning, it's always circulating. It's pretty impressive. You can go 2, 3, sometimes even up to 4 or 5 months without changing your water because of all of those systems that are working without you even knowing it. So one other thing that I'll point out about this plunge is that it gets really cold. So most residential plunges will only get you about 39, 40 degrees, and you can kind of max that out over time as your tolerance grows and as you keep dropping your temperature lower and lower. This will get you down to 33 degrees, which if you're going in water colder than that, you might have something wrong with you. My wife and I typically keep it around 48 degrees or so at this point. We've been slowly creeping that down, but we do a lot of contrast therapy. So we'll go in the sauna, we'll go in the plunge, we'll do rounds back and forth. And we're typically doing it at 9, 10 o'clock at night when the kids are down. So for right now, 48 degrees is a really comfortable temperature for us. But we got this knowing that as we build that tolerance up, we can bring that water down, 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 basically to the point of freezing. All right, so I'm getting ready to climb into the plunge here to show you exactly how I fit. Now keep in mind this is a medium size and there is a larger size, but the medium size works great for me. Before I hop in, I really want to talk about the way that they sloped this out. So the backrest is nice and sloped in, and same thing with the footrest. And honestly, it kind of makes the uncomfortable just a little bit more comfortable. All right, this is cold water, so bear with me if I'm struggling to talk through it, but I'm gonna climb on in and show you what it looks like when I'm inside here. So I'm gonna lay back. Has this nice slope. Hey, Gansett. Fits my feet really well. Again, I can kind of lounge in here. And although it's cold, I mean, I'm in a pretty comfortable position just like this here. This liner is also a FDA medical grade, non-toxic, so I really like that, how I don't have to worry about it disintegrating or getting nasty. The last thing I'll do here, I can take this hat off, and I'll go ahead and hit a dunk, just so you can see that I can fully get underwater in this size too. When it comes to aesthetics, these guys really nailed it. So this is a sauna skin wrap on the top here. This is their first colorway. They do have the matte black now too, which is super sleek, super cool. We actually have one in each color, so we get to really experience both of those colors there. The LEDs here look really nice with it closed at night. It really glows like an ice cube. That's kind of what their marketing says, which I get it. It looks super cool. And there is a cool feature too where you can actually run this LED when you're in the tub with the tub off at night. And that's super cool too, because if you have all the lights off and it's dark outside and you just have this nice glowing LED, it just really sets the vibe. We like to put a bunch of plants around it here, and it really kind of makes it feel like a spa out here, kind of like our little oasis, and we're really impressed just with how they look. When it comes to their customer service, I've read a lot of good things in the reviews on their website. They really talk highly about their customer service, so I put this to the test. I picked up the phone, I called in, and Nick, the owner of the company, is actually the one who answered the phone, which I thought was pretty cool because a lot of the reviews did say that when you call in, you get to speak directly to the owner. And I really appreciate the fact that he's taken those calls. He was super receptive, open to feedback, answered any questions I had. So that was a really cool experience there. There is a warranty that comes standard with the tub. That's a 1-year warranty, but there's options to upgrade to either a 3 or a 5-year if you feel the need to get that extended warranty. And then the last thing I really like about this company is the fact that they have a clear, defined mission. So 1% of all their profits go to troubled youth programs. They go out to these schools, to these programs, and they put on these team building events where they'll bring a bunch of cold plunges and they'll have the kids plunge together. And I just really appreciate the fact that they're active in their community and that they're putting on these kind of different events for the community. And for a program that really hits home to me being a father, I really appreciate that that vision's clear and aligns with my goals as well. Also, it's made in the USA. I really appreciate that, being manufactured in Wimberley, Texas. So all the products that they use are manufactured in the USA. To summarize everything that we spoke about today, this really is a premium plunge at a really fair price. Most competitors are going to run you 5, 10, sometimes even 15K more for something that does exactly what this does here. I wouldn't spend the money. I'm super impressed and happy with the Fire Cold Plunge. I did get some insight into how they're able to keep their pricing so competitive, and they told me that they manufacture their own chest freezers. By doing that, they eliminate the third party, which could control their pricing or really throw things off because they're in charge of what those products are going to cost, and then they're able to then build the products out of those freezers that they manufacture themselves. Men's Journal was spot on, designated this as the best designed cold plunge. I mean, we use this every single day and we absolutely love it. We actually got a second one in yesterday, the matte black version, and we'll eventually end up moving this one off this patio out there to be with that one so we can do our contrast therapy and get cold together. Especially when we're hosting other couples or friends, it's going to be really fun to be able to have two people in there at the same time. It'll be a really community building aspect. Me and my wife will probably reach out and hold hands while we're in there real cold, but we're really enjoying it so far and we're looking forward to using it for years and years to come. If you like this video, again, I'm going to post a link below that you can get an exclusive discount. Feel free to use that discount. Get yourself a Fire Cold Plunge. You're going to love it just like we love it. And if you have any other questions, anything that I may have missed, anything that may have been confusing, go ahead and drop it in the comments below, or feel free to send me a message on Instagram and I can send you further videos. I can send you pictures, anything that might be left. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video. I appreciate you and I look forward to the next one.